Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to week 3 of at-home learning. Miss Sass here. Just want to talk to you a little bit about what's coming up this week and share with you a few changes that you're going to start seeing in our at-home learning. The big change this week is you're going to turn in some work to me. I know. Thought you were getting away with not having to do any of that. Well, starting this week, you will turn in one reading, one math, one science, and one social studies piece of work. And that can be submitted to me in either Remind. You can take pictures of it with your phone, send it through Remind, or you can take pictures of it and then upload those into an email that your parent can send to me. But that is a big change this week. The content is still going to be a review. So these are not going to be skills that are new to you. They're going to be skills that you have already learned this year. Starting next week, though, you will see new content, some things that you haven't learned before. But the great thing is, we as first grade teachers at Forest Ridge are working on ways to make that learning a little easier for you and for your parents, because up until this point, your parents have benefited from you already knowing many of the skills. But moving forward, you may see some things you've not seen before. And so we're working on ways that we can make that easier for everybody, because I'm a parent too, and I have a first grader and a sixth grader, and so I'm also kind of I am in the same boat. So let me go over what you're going to see this week. In reading, your first session has you reading a fiction story called Gordon Finds His Way. And afterwards, you can choose to either make connections to the story or identify some problem solutions and answer some questions about the problem and the solutions in the story. And then in writing for session 1, you're going to draw a picture of someone having a problem and write a couple sentences about that. Then in session 2, you're going to read a nonfiction book. And I'm just kind of scrolling down so I can see that. But in session 2, you are going to read a nonfiction book called Caring for Your Dog. And after our 2 Zooms ago, I saw a lot of you have dogs at home. So you know about what it means to care for a dog. But we're going to be identifying main idea and supporting details. That's one option for you. The other one is to do a KWL chart. What do you know? What do you want to know? What did you learn about a dog, caring for a dog specifically? And then your writing options that go along with that is in the story you learned about caring for a dog. Now that you know this information, what are some other animals you might care for? How would that be different? You're going to kind of compare that to caring for a dog. Like if you have a cat or you have a chameleon or a gerbil or a hamster, a rabbit. Or you could write, do you have a pet or a dog at home? Write about how you care for that pet. Okay, so that would be your options for session 2. Then in math, session 1 has you racing to 100. Basically working on numbers all the way through 100. Well, that's going to be pretty simple for many of you. We've gone all the way to 120, and many of you can go well beyond that. And then you're going to be working on doubles plus 1. So taking a number, doubling it, and then adding one more, counting one more. Then in session 2, the first little game is Quack Attack, Shake and Spill game. And so you're going to be working on Friends of 10 facts. And then the next one is 10 plus facts. So if you have a number and you add 10 more, what number do you get? And those should not be too hard for you. We've done a lot of practice in that, and you guys have a really good number sense. So I think you'll be fine with those. Then in science, you're going to be working with force and motion. The first little activity is ways objects move. It has you doing a little page in there where you're going to even draw on a piece of paper way things move. And then session 2 is push and pull, force and motion, and how things are pushed and can be pulled, 2 different types of forces and motion. And then in social studies, the first session is being a good citizen. We learned about that way back at the beginning of the year. Yeah. And then in session 2, about helpers. We have so many great community helpers right now. So what you're going to do with that is after you learn about community or kind of review community helpers, then you're going to write a thank you letter. So pick someone that you've seen. Like just the other day I was in HEB and there were workers and they're wiping down all the handles and, like on the freezer cases and wiping the carts, everything to keep it so clean in there for everyone in their shopping. And, that just to me made me feel so safe and that, this was a safe place to be right now, which is something that we all are trying to do really well. Make sure we all stay safe and healthy. So anyways, the next week, you're going to see new content. And then you will also be responsible for submitting a piece of evidence from each of those content areas. Don't worry, I'll have another video for you next week to show you kind of what we're doing and how that looks. And we're going to try to, as first grade teachers, we're coming together, pulling our resources so that we can make that learning hopefully very easy for you. We are not having a Zoom this week with Good Friday on Friday. So I have set up with many of your parents already a time that we can talk on the phone or FaceTime, kind of check in, see what's going on, how's it going. Do you have any questions about things, how to submit your work this week? What do you submit? I don't really understand. Any of those things, that's what I want to really check in and make sure you're doing okay. We also have a birthday this week. Lincoln has a birthday this week, and we're going to celebrate in our Zoom next week. Lincoln, can't forget you, my friend. Big day coming. So if you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Again, the big change this week is we are submitting work, and that will be the case until we go back to school. Each week, children will be responsible for submitting something from reading, from math, from science, and from social studies. And I am fine with it coming through Remind or through my email. Just ask if it's in my email, if you would just title it Week 3 Learning or Week 4 Learning or whatever week it is. Just helps me kind of find those a little easier. If at any time you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out. I'm here for you. This is new to all of us, and I just can't wait to see you all in person again. You're probably going to be taller. We're all going to need haircuts. But hopefully all well and healthy. So until I see you again, take care. Bye.